DVD update here for October 3rd. I got some notes here this time. P2 went on way too long. I had to edit it down a bunch. It didn't turn out that well. I took notes this time. I'm going to try to streamline it, keep it under 10 minutes. Here we go. So, for October 3rd, I watched Lost Boys 2: The Tribe. This isn't the unrated version, but my friend just gave this to me, and so beggars can't be choosers. So this is just Lost Boys, the regular R-rated version, The Tribe. The plot is a brother and a sister, a brother who's an ex-surfer who got kicked off the for beating someone up, so he lost all his sponsors, and his sister moved back to a seaside town where their aunt owns a bunch of properties, and they plan to rent a property from her. And so they move back to the seaside town, and he goes out trying to find a job. As he's a surfer, he goes to the local surf shops and whatnot, try to find a job. One guy gives him a heads up. He's looking for a surfboard shaping job because he can shape surfboards, and one of the surf people give him a hint as to go up to Frogs, which of course is Edgar Frog from the first movie, played by Corey Feldman in this film, as well as the very first Lost Boys. And so he goes up there. Feldman's not there, leaves a note, goes home. He's just chilling outside his house or somewhere, and he runs into one of his idols as a kid, a surfer. And he's like, what happened to you? And the guy said that something better came along, you know, hinting that he's a vampire now and he lives a much better life and whatever. And he's like, you just, the brother surfer is like, you just dropped off the face of the earth. And the guy was like, I heard you did too. Why don't you come to a party? So he and his sister go to the party, where of course it's a vampire part. Well, it's a party where they're all vampires. And of course this guy smooths over his sister like that. They go for a ride on the motorcycle. He gives her a drink of what is supposed to be alcohol, obviously, but it isn't. It's his blood. He's the head vampire. And so she turns into a vampire, and then basically he finds that out. And then basically the rest of the movie is Corey Feldman teaching him vampire type stuff, how to kill vampires, and then him and Feldman at the end going in and to where all the vampires are, their lair, if you will, and killing them and all that. We all know what happens there. So that's the basic plot. Let's see, the acting, you know, it's on the better side actually. Who's in this? We got Tad Hilgenbrick, Angus Sutherland, Autumn Reeser, and Corey Feldman. Also, the woman, special mention to the woman who plays their aunt, who owns the building, or the small crappy house that they're renting, because she's pretty funny throughout the movie, including wanting to coming in, knocking on their door with the Goonies and some food, wanting to have like a movie night with Goonies. And so that was actually kind of funny. So yeah, the acting is on the better side of straight to DVD release, which I think this was. It might have had a limited release in theaters, I'm really not sure, but for the most part, for me anyway, it was definitely straight to DVD. The gore, you know, the gore wasn't all that good for me. There was a lot of blood, but the problem was there wasn't that many vampirism scenes, basically, where, you know, they attack people and suck their blood. There wasn't that many scenes, maybe 4 or 5 vampirism scenes. But when they did do that, it was a decent amount of blood. The fight scenes, there were not many fight scenes either. But when they did, what did I say here? Oh yeah, that's one of the things. There weren't that many fight scenes, like I was saying, but even when there were fight scenes, none of them lasted over a minute, which was, I mean, they were all just quick. When they're supposed to get their first kill or whatever, they're at a campfire around with a bunch of girls, which they're supposed to, each guy has his own girl, which he's supposed to attack. I think I heard somebody out there, but that's fine. And still, it's like a minute each fight scene. And once Corey Feldman and dude break into the lair, they eat. The brother, to save the sister, obviously, but the brother gets 2 kills. One being, I'm not gonna ruin this. I mean, maybe, but he gets 2 kills. One being the head vampire and another vampire. And Corey Feldman only gets 1 kill, and those still are each under a minute. Even the final battle. In fact, I like my final battles to go on more than a minute. I mean, I'm not into like extremely extended fight scenes that go on way too long, a la Family Guy and the Chicken, but you know, I like it to be a little something other than like push, finally he's dead, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, obviously with the fight scenes being short, this really felt like a very short movie. I did like it for what it was. It's obviously not better than the original, but it's good enough for entertainment and for this horror month that I'm doing. Corey Feldman was definitely an added plus. All of his scenes were pretty funny. Even with his obviously paraded deep voice, it seemed like he was auditioning for The Dark Knight or a Batman flick, because you know how Christian Bale kind of does that annoying, grisly, deep voice. That's the kind of voice that Corey Feldman was trying to do here. So yeah, and Corey Haim, just seemed like his scene was just tacked on. I heard they like caused a scene or had a breakdown on set or whatever, and it seemed like he was being a little bitch to me, but they just tacked that scene on probably to make him happy so he would stop crying or whatnot. So overall, I give this movie about a 7 out of 10. Let me know how you guys like this as opposed to P2 review where I just did it all like pretty much improv. This one I actually wrote down notes and whatnot. Special features, I think there's like 2 documentaries or making of or something like that, and also there's the 2 alternate endings which are pretty much the exact same. It's Corey Haim and Corey Feldman on the beach talking. Corey Haim basically tells Corey Feldman that he needs help preparing because the surviving vampire from the original film is coming to hunt them both down to get revenge. And the only difference between the 2 alternate endings is the different dialogue between Haim and Feldman. Otherwise, they're the exact same. And it's basically them talking on the beach, and like I said, Haim tells them that the original vampire is coming back to get his revenge, to kill them. And then it shows like a souped-up Dodge Charger driving down the highway, and then it shows the inside of the Charger, and it's kind of like a back side shot of the vampire, I guess the surviving vampire from the first film, and then it just shows them drive off towards the town. So that was Lost Boys to the Tribe. I'll see you guys